Okay, well, we're out here, bootleg canyon, Interbike is happening, and I'm getting to spend some time with the new Surface 604 bikes, and I'm really liking them. So this is the Rook. This is a step-through version of kind of a city bike. Surface 604 is a company that's from Vancouver, Canada, and the 604 is actually a reference to the phone number area code. Yeah, so it's like, you know, this can go on the beach, this could go on the city, this could go on the mountains. They're having a, what language was that? Do you know? Espanol. Oh, I got my translator here helping me out. So this bike, you know, it's not a fat bike. Like their first bikes had these huge tires, and it was really like, wow, that's neat. This one, I feel like they've done a really great job of capturing a little bit of a city commuter. It's got lights, it's got fenders, and almost like a cruiser, okay? Because they've got this pretty comfortable gel saddle, Cellar Royale. They've got bars that sweep back a little, and then that awesome headset. It's adjustable angle, tool free. Will you help me demonstrate this, babe? So like you pull down on this, come on, and then you angle it up, and now like look, the whole thing twists and comes back. Yeah, that's how I want to ride. It comes all the way back, and the bar even spins a little bit, but you know, this angles, it's just very adjustable. And look, I didn't need any tools to do that. It wasn't very hard. That's awesome, and it's really comfortable. Like that's something that not a lot of bikes get right, in my opinion. A lot of them need tools and stuff. This part probably just costs a little bit more. I love that it's black, it blends in. We've got the ergonomic grips. They don't lock, but in some ways that's okay, because you can just twist it a lot when you twist the bars and then line them back up. You know, this isn't a mountain bike. You're not going to be, you know, really bearing down on those grips, hopefully, if everything goes all right. Love that there's a kickstand and that it's kept kind of far back, because when you move the pedal cranks, they don't collide. Other ones that are like right in the middle, they kind of get in the way sometimes. So I mentioned mountain bike a minute ago. I'm like, this one's not a hardcore bike, but it actually has a pretty hardcore suspension fork. So this is Suntour XCT. It's got preload adjust, it's got lockout, and it's got 80 millimeters of travel, which is more than a lot of the city bikes that we see. Usually it's like 60 millimeters or something, or maybe even less. So to have a nice suspension fork with quick release, that's great, because you could take that off pretty easily. You could take the battery off. I think that was 7.6 pounds when we were weighing that earlier. So you can reduce the weight of the bike, which is great, because it's not the lightest bike in the world. I think this was like 57.5 pounds total. And it's because it's like all aluminum. It's got the suspension fork that adds weights, the plastic fenders and stuff, and then that rack, which is actually really, really cool. So it's built right in. It's color matched to the frame. It's very sturdy. I don't see a max rating, but it's probably at least 25 kilograms. That's what the other ones are usually. And they've gone ahead and said, we're going to add some support flat pieces here, so maybe you can mount like a Yep trailer, like kid's seat kind of thing, or you can use a trunk bag, or you can use the fold-over bags, or you see these narrower tubing, that's used for the clip-on panniers. And this is for the bungee cord that kind of like connects at the bottom. So I love that. That was very thoughtfully done, and it's got the light built in. And check this out, the light wires, usually they run them in the fender, and that means they get wet and dirty and stuff. They actually go through the tubing, so it goes through the bike tubing. That's awesome. A lot of attention to detail happening here. You can see the wire up here as well, and then a lot of the shifter cables. They've got the wraps, and they go right through that down tube. And check that out. That's a bottle cage boss. So it's kind of a weird location. I've seen it a couple times. You know, it's like they didn't really fit here because you want to be able to drop the seat and that post could collide. They didn't really fit here because you want to be able to step over without kicking it. So they were like, well, we'll put them down here. And thankfully, even with the travel on the fork, it works. It's not super convenient, but I don't know. I mean,
it's better than here.
Yeah. Can you stand over it real quick, Moni? So she's 5'1", definitely like a lower inseam. This is the larger frame. It comes in a 19 and a 17.5, and I mean, you've still got some room there. You're not going to hit yourself if you need to step off quickly, and especially because it is a little bit heavier. If you need to quickly like stabilize, how do you feel on it? How does it feel?
I like when they're like that. You know, you feel more secure because you need to. Anytime you can jump.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm gonna crash, and you jump or you leave the bike. And it's better. It's better for girls, you know, for us, I think, to have that load too.
And this is the big one. This is the 19-inch, so you're doing really well, babe. I'm gonna have all the measurements of like the standover height and the reach and all that back at the site, but I just love how adjustable it all is. You've got the quick release down here on the seat post. I think this is 30.4 millimeters on the diameter, which is thicker than normal. Normally it's like 27.2, so that means it's going to give you more strength if you're maybe a heavier rider. You've got the big plush saddle.
The seat is awesome also.
Do you like that?
Yeah, really,
You're the seat expert. That's great to see. And the battery pack, just the way it's integrated, it's low and center, maybe a little bit forward, and that helps to balance out the hub motor. You know, we're starting to see electric bikes with mid drives and all this, and they turn the sprocket, which means that when you shift, it can kind of, you know, bang on the chain and the gears. This one, the motor just does its own thing. It doesn't matter what gear you're in. It doesn't matter if you could even like not pedal at all because it has a trigger throttle. So that's one of my favorite parts about this bike. Like, I don't know if you noticed this, but it has a TMM4 torque sensor. So that's measuring the strain, like the flex in that chunk of metal. And it's smooth. It requires force to happen versus a lot of pedal assist. It's just a magnet thing that just says on, off, on, off.
Okay.
This one, you can be in the highest level of assist, but if you're gentle, it will go slow, right? So it's really cool. But then the flip side of that is, oh, so I have to work hard to make the bike activate. Like, yeah, you do have to push a little bit more, but if you don't want to, boom, trigger throttle, you just override it, right? Like it's a sweet combination. I really like this bike, and it's only $18.99. It comes with a 3-year frame warranty. It comes with 1-year comprehensive electronics, like all that stuff. Again, Canadian company, really nice people. A couple colors, so it comes in this white with taupe and then kind of a gray color. That's the high step over there. I was just reviewing that separately. Just neat, like overall, really neat.
See, like the reflectors over here also.
Thank you for that. Yeah, and so if you have a skirt or if you have pants, you don't want them to get greasy on the chain. So it's got a protector, it's plastic, and then like you said, it's perfect. It's reflective for safety. And the lights. Do you want to try them? Okay, so we're up here. The battery pack, I don't think you need to turn it on separately. You just hold the power here once. It's very simple. Pretty easy to reach. I mean, your fingers aren't super long, but you can still get the throttle and those buttons while you're riding. And she held the light button for a couple seconds. Yeah, and there it is. You can see it lighten up her hands. This is the Kendo by Spinninga. Like, that's kind of a, you love the name, right? Yeah. It's a name brand. It's a name brand for sure. And on the rear, another Spinninga with a big reflector. Safety is important to me. And I like what they've done. I want to call out these 13 gauge spokes in the rear, 14 up front. Both of those are thicker than average, again, for strength, for supporting potentially heavier loads on this bike. The tires are 26 by 2.1, so they're wider and they're going to be softer, like a little bit more cushion because of that extra air in there. It's more compression. Along with that suspension, you could get a suspension seat post up front if you wanted to. You know, they sell Thud Buster and Body Float, and that would be a nice little upgrade. And then the disc brakes. So these are hydraulic Tektro Ariga 160 millimeter. I love that because hydraulic, were you able to brake okay? Yeah. It's easier. You don't, I mean, look how tiny the levers are.
Super easy.
It's easy, it's nice. So I really like this bike. I really think they've done a good job. And if the bike was like $2,500, I'd be like, yeah, it's pretty good. You know, it's pretty good. But at under 2,000, yeah, I mean, that's pretty spectacular. Right. So let's see, are we missing anything? Did we forget anything? Maybe just to ride it? Oh yeah, we didn't talk about the drivetrain. Okay, 10-speed SRAM X5, that's a huge upgrade. A lot of times bikes like this, you know, city bikes, step over, you really don't need that many gears, and a lot of times they put a Shimano tourney, like very low end 7-speed. Well, this one has a higher end 10-speed. They really overdid it. And then they have also got like trigger shifters up here. So it's nice. You could, and I probably would, add like maybe different grips, locking. I might get some of those ergon ones with the bar ends and stuff. But as is, it's actually a really nice setup. Again, kind of overkill, really nicely done. You wanna, oh, and this is a sealed bottom bracket. Samex, it's like a mountain bike style. You see how there's like a hollow spindle. Also unnecessary, but cool. And just like potentially lighter, potentially tougher. Maybe for water, it's sealed, right? So it keeps the water out. And that's part of the Surface 604, like keep water off of you, keep water out of the bike. You know, and there are plastic fenders, but I've actually heard that plastic holds up better than aluminum sometimes because the aluminums get bent. Whereas these are light and they just kind of spring back, like you push on it and then you let go of it and it's not a problem. And they really don't rattle that much, you know, if you kick the bike. It feels pretty quiet to me. I'm trying to like blast this for something. I think the two things are it's heavy. What's the second thing? I don't know.
That's it?
It's heavy. Okay, want to hop on it and I'll chase you up the hill? Okay, so remember, depending on the level of assist that you're in, the power output, that's the other thing. Okay, so if you're in a low level of assist, you're only going to get low power. Whoa, you okay? Sorry, babe. If you're in a higher level of assist, oh, that's the other thing. Like, whenever you get off a bike, if you're gonna, mess with it, turn it off, because you might bump the trigger throttle. And this starts in 0 and the throttle doesn't work. So that's a safety thing. But I do like that at least the throttle goes from 0 when you're in pedal assist, because sometimes it's like, oh, you have to do 2 pedal rotations for safety. And I'm always like, man, but I need to go now. What if safety is like crossing the street and I need power? Okay, so I think we're good. Just go for it.
To go up the hill or?
Yeah, let's go up the hill. But there's a lot of bikers coming for a second, so I'll give you the clear, the all clear. Okay, 3, 2, 1, blast off.
Bye. Okay, let's go 3.
You are going up?
Bye.
There she goes. She got all the way up to 5. Pretty good. Hey, come back. I want to try. Those are hardcore cyclists who maybe think you're cute. Get out of the way. We're so good, but we need the whole trail. Even though you're already on the rocks. Okay, we got the lights on. Thank you. I'm going to go do this, and I'll see you in a sec.
Bye.
Back at the other one. Okay, here we go. I'm going to do the torque sensor real quick so you can see it. That's level 1. Let's go up to level 5 and switch gears. There we go. Oh yeah. Here we go. So no problem. You're up to 20 miles per hour, just super fast. I'm gonna do the brakes. She really wasn't. Yeah, I mean, that's just one brake. That's the front brake. That stopped me quite quickly. Now I'm climbing. And this time I'm gonna pedal just really softly, like I was saying, even though I'm in level 5. Look at that. It's just so quiet. I'm only going like 8 miles per hour. And at any time I can hit that throttle and really juice it, stop pedaling if I want. You just get so many choices. And the frame's actually pretty stiff. A lot of times these step-thru bikes feel kind of flexy because, maybe you don't have that second tube like these guys have done. So I really like that they've kind of overbuilt it. Whoa, yeah, with some of the suspension. I also wanted to call out that they have a USB charging port right here on the battery. So if you have a phone or some electronics, some MP3 player, you can plug it in right here, and the cable is actually pretty close, and it's out of the way of your legs and stuff. And it still comes out the side. It's not going to be quite perfect, but it's a little bit easier. On the other side of the battery pack is where you charge it. Again, this could be charged on or off the bike. And I don't know if we mentioned it, but it's a 48 volt, 10.4 amp hour. So it's above average in terms of capacity. You could really get decent range depending on the level of assist. But yeah, there's where you charge it. If you had it plugged in and you were moving these crank arms, you could maybe snag it. It's kind of clear, but it's still pretty close. That's just an area to be careful with. And this rubber thing doesn't stay in. It bugs me a lot. I've seen the same battery pack design on a couple other bikes, and none of them stay in, and you get dirt in there, and it's like, come on, like the guys who are making this probably overseas, like manufacturing it, just like, it's not hard to figure out. Just figure out how to keep the rubber from coming out, okay? I'm begging you, please. I think that's about it, right? Did you have fun with this bike? Are you happy with it?
Yeah, I'm really happy.
I'm too. I'm not a designer. Maybe it's a harder challenge than I don't mean to be disrespectful. I think that's about it for the full write-up on this bike, including the sizes and the other ones from Surface 604. We'll see you back at ElectricBikeReview.com. And of course, as always, ride safe.
Adios.